The Hollywood industry has done a good job of making the public see aliens as beings just like us, or sometimes like superheroes, the likes of Superman, Martian Manhunter, Thor, and so on. But I bet you after watching this video, your entire perspective of aliens and who they are, how they operate, will change completely. Disclaimer: this is a real-life story, an experience shared by a man who managed to observe real aliens up close. The disappearance of Alec Newald. The year 1987 began like any other year for everybody else. But for one man, Alec Newald, it turned out to be the craziest year of his life. The year everything changed for him. Alec Newald had embarked on a solo journey from Auckland to Rotorua, his hometown, on a cold February morning. Surprisingly, he never made it to his destination. In fact, the 3-hour journey only came to an end 10 days later with a truckload of disturbing memories, headaches, and blurred vision. Newald was initially shocked when he arrived at his hometown to hear from family and friends that he had been missing for 10 days. In his subconscious mind, he had only left home 3 hours before. However, the real horrors began when he started getting flashes of memories from the time-lapse. These memories have been retold into one of the most intense and scariest alien abduction stories ever. Unlike most alien abduction stories, this man's story didn't just talk about how he disappeared suddenly for several days. It also expresses the painful experience he went through at the hands of his extraterrestrial abductio the abduction. Alec Newald shared with his family and friends how he had been taken to a top-secret alien base, where he learned mind-boggling details about their superior civilization. According to Newald, the dilemma started while he was on the steering wheel. In his own words, "I was driving a car, and it felt like a ton of bricks had fallen on me. It's like someone poured cement on me. I felt as if I had been pushed or hit hard. I was paralyzed. I couldn't turn the steering wheel, apply the brakes, or do anything else." This was the moment Newald's horrifying nightmare began. At that moment, he began to feel very strange, like he didn't have a body. In his book, Coevolution: An Interplanetary Adventure, Newald mentioned that it felt like all the solid parts of his body had been sieved out, and he was trapped inside some sort of ghostly glowing orb drifting around. After this enigmatic moment in his journey, the next thing he knew was waking up in a bizarre space with bright lights all over. Newald was perturbed initially, thinking he had died and was on the journey to the afterlife. But then he got a reality check when he spotted several oddly shaped creatures approaching him from the distance. It was a moment of truth, but beyond that, it was a moment of fear and confusion. Many questions ran through Newald's mind at that moment. Where am I? Who or what exactly are these beings? And what do they want from me? The aliens. According to Newald, the creatures were abnormally thin, with very large heads and narrow eyes that gave them a weird look. Alec initially couldn't believe his eyes. He thought he was crazy. However, the strange moment became even more horrifying when Newald realized these mysterious beings were telepathic. Somehow, they seemed to be able to read his thoughts. Even worse, they were manipulating his thoughts. It was a weird and eerie feeling because he could sense their presence in his mind, even though they never said a word to him. It was as though whatever information they wanted to pass across, they simply sent the signal with their intents to his head. This strange telepathic communication was what these aliens used to lead Newald down a corridor into the unknown, an alien home base. Newald was dumbfounded when he burst out the open end of the corridor to see several high-rise buildings featuring unusual architecture. There were several fascinating buildings. Some resembled sleek high towers, while others were shaped like circular buildings with pyramid tops. All these magnificent structures were made of a unique material that resembled an unnaturally colored glass. Furthermore, there were several spiral antennas and what seemed like a big light bulb on top of each building, further adding to their height and beauty. The whole scene was so stunning and breathtakingly beautiful, like he had stepped into a new world, a mysterious alien wonderland. In his book, Newald drew pictures of these mesmerizing buildings and tried his best to explain their architecture. However, beyond fascinating architecture, this man saw several other mind-boggling things that he never would have believed existed. What he saw, you see, Newald recounted that he saw several advanced organic technologies and even got a taste of this mind-bending alien technology firsthand. According to him, at some point, the aliens put him inside a special machine that could take on any physical form for him. The aliens claimed that this machine was what enabled them to create physical bodily forms that they used to interact on Earth. In other words, this machine was like a sophisticated interdimensional capsule that could create outer dimensional bodies, allowing aliens to live consciously in our world as humans. The idea of such a thing is simply mind-blowing, and some would even say impossible. Concepts like these have only been seen several times in sci-fi movies and fantasy works. Does such a groundbreaking piece of technology really exist with such extraordinary capabilities? This part of Alec Newald's story became a major source of controversy, as it implied that aliens could pretty much live among us without being detected. The unsettling realization that several folks all around the world could actually be non-human is just spine-chilling. But that's not the most disturbing revelation from Alec Newald's story. Newald further claimed that the aliens showed him high-tech devices that could affect human consciousness in the most bizarre ways. Adding to the enigma, he mentioned that he was shown alien spaceships that were controlled telepathically and could even merge telepathically to form a larger whole. Overall, these beings were super advanced life forms with technology beyond our wildest imaginations. They were a race that existed beyond our stars, from a higher realm that no human had ever reached. Their spirituality and physical vibrations were pretty much in tune with their biotechnology, making their maneuverability astonishingly easy, even through space and time. Questions and riddles. Newald's controversial story never hinted at what the name of this alien civilization was called. However, from the many descriptions he gave, it's highly possible that this alien race was the most superior of all extraterrestrials thought to exist. This is largely due to the other shocking abilities and practices they displayed while Alec was their prisoner. Beyond telepathy and interdimensional travel, these beings could do astonishing things like grow plants and animals using a special organic technology. These strange beings could even transform their homes into whatever form they imagined and control things in the environment with their minds. But beyond all this, what really shocked Newald and sparked outrage among his viewers was one singular secret the aliens revealed to him. This secret was so shocking that it raised many questions both within the scientific community and the general public. According to the aliens, the Earth's iconic history is filled with many secrets. Secrets that a few secretive groups of high-ranking individuals have closely guarded. These beings were implying that many pieces of our past have been hidden from us. Untold tales that have never been made known to the public. It turns out there are mysterious, faceless groups of individuals, or men in black, who go to any lengths necessary to keep the real truth about our world from the public eye. More mysteries. For now, no one knows who these men in black are. However, this eye-opening revelation by Alec Newald's abductors surely goes a long way to explain why there are so many riddles and loopholes in science, history, physics, and other spheres of humanity. Perhaps a few sinister individuals are safeguarding the final pieces for reasons unknown. In any case, the fact that Newald got to witness all of this up close is just mind-boggling. What this man saw was literally a live version of what we see in sci-fi movies. As you likely know, most alien abduction stories feature a general theme of human experimentation and DNA mutilation. Over the years, there have been many haunting conspiracy theories that aliens have been secretly abducting humans and carrying out otherworldly experiments on them. The purpose of this inhumane practice is still unknown, but there are rumors that these beings seek to learn all about the human body in order to replicate or exploit it. There are also scary conspiracy theories that these extraterrestrials have a plan to take over the human race. Therefore, weakening or altering DNA is the first step to realizing this dream. Although these are just theories without substantial proof, the sheer number of victims who have come out over the years claiming to be abducted by strange-looking beings makes you wonder if there's some atom of truth behind them. The after effects of the experience. In a nutshell, Newald's experience with the enigmatic beings was extraordinary, unlike any other alien abduction experience. Unwilling to keep this sensational story to himself, Newald contacted Nexus magazine in 1995 to share his story. He recapped everything, and by the time the story went public, it blew the minds of everyone who heard it. In the twinkle of an eye, this once insignificant American became the center of attention for thousands of folks who were enthralled by his story. However, it's important to note that while many were baffled and amazed by his eye-opening encounter, Newald also suffered heavy criticism, both from the public and the authorities. The ultimate moment was when Nexus magazine officially invited Alec Newald to share his story live during the 1996 Nexus conference. From that moment on, several highly placed government officials and scientists began to show up at Newald's doorstep, probing him. While some of these uncanny visitors were genuinely interested in his breathtaking story, most of them just wanted to find out if he was telling the truth. Newald never broke, never bent under pressure. He told his truth, however daunting and unsettling it seemed. However, this came at a heavy price. Friends, family, and associates soon began to desert him. Some thought he had gone mad, while others felt he was becoming dangerous, given the strange attention he was garnering. In his own words, he said, "I was ostracized by people from whom I expected support. In fact, after I tried to share that I was abducted by a UFO, and with anything I've learned, my life became more complicated. It became impossible to live as before." In the end, this was the sad reality Newald had to put up with. It was quite unfortunate. What's even more unfortunate is that till today, many still don't believe his story. The debate over the existence of aliens in our world is still very open, and testimonies and eyewitness accounts like Newald's always get mixed reactions. Perhaps someday, humanity will finally be able to tell if the aliens are actually here among us and why. Or maybe these beings will soon reveal themselves and walk among us like we never imagined. What do you think? Subscribe for more.